trying to get rid of things like birthright citizenship, but for some reason we're talking about Biden again. They're trying to take away attention from Trump's disastrous econ policy.
They didn't bring them to Joe Biden because an auto pen
Exactly. You have no
did it.
examples of that. No, you have no examples of that.
Let's jump right into a Piers Morgan panel debate with Destiny, Michael Knowles, Dave Rubin, and Wajahat Ali. So sure to be a very spicy one. If you can, though, start by leaving us a like. It helps us out tremendously in the algorithm, and we really appreciate it. Let's otherwise get right into the discussion.
Right now, who's the president? Is it Trump or is it Biden? Because every single day I turn the news on, Trump is talking about Biden, the conservatives are talking about Biden, everybody is talking about Biden. It feels like that is the only thing that these people can ever talk about because they're trying to take away attention from Trump's disastrous econ policy,
there was a major
from the utter
involving
failures
Biden,
that he's running into over and over and over again with all of the courts, with the insane arguments that they're putting in front of the Supreme Court, trying to get rid of things like birthright citizenship. But for some reason, we're talking about Biden again. Also, it's no surprise that conservatives are once again, there is no scandal. There is no evidence of any scandal whatsoever. It's just more conservatives demonstrating again that they know nothing about medicine.
There's no evidence of a scandal.
No, you don't need to explain anything while I'm giving my answer to Pierre's question. You say the man wasn't competent to be president. I'm curious, can you show me a single time when Joe Biden sat down and had EOs brought to him and explained to him that he'd never seen before, like we see Trump sign on an almost daily basis? One example of that.
Well, they didn't bring them to Joe Biden because an auto pen
You have
did
no
it.
examples of that. No, you have no examples of that.
For all his faults, I am glad that Destiny is willing to stand up to these cowards' nonsense. Like anytime he's on a show like this, they literally think if enough of them say something like this, it's confirmed true. They do this with COVID coming from a lab too. Like, I don't even know where they get these things. Here's the things we have no evidence for. Biden wasn't competent enough to run the country. Someone else was doing it the whole time. There was a widespread systemic cover-up between mainstream media and the Democrats. Mainstream media literally ran Biden dementia for 6 weeks until he drops out. But these are things we have literally no evidence for. What do we know? Biden negotiated front and center 7 pieces of legislation directly with Republicans to pass 2 of them bipartisanly. And as late as 2024, we know for a fact that he was instrumental in the largest hostage swap since the Cold War. He also stuttered a lot and he had clearly lost a step since his VP days. So literally the scandal is Republican crybaby conspiracies in hopes to distract from the Trump disaster because Biden was old when Trump is old and having executive orders explained to him as he signs them.
The reality is conservatives know nothing about medicine. All of you guys on here are saying it's totally common to test for prostate cancer past 50. It's not. Past 70, it's not recommended. Believe it or not, and I know in the movies and in the TV shows, it seems like you can test for every single thing at every point in time. You can't test for every single thing at every point in time. You don't do that because you get a lot of false positives.
He's the president of the
How long
United
does that
States.
PSA test take you? When you do that PSA test annually,
It doesn't
Piers,
matter.
how long does
Over
that
the
take
age
you?
of
Is that a
seven-
big
over the
problem
age
for
of
the doctor?
literally
doctor?
takes-
You
it
can-
takes
listen,
a-
hey,
literally
where's
takes
the fact
3
checker?
minutes.
Over the age of 70, you do not test men for prostate cancer. It's just not recommended. You can't test for
you test
every
It
single
is if
disease.
you're the
had
president of the
cancer.
United States and you've
So the
already had a
president is somehow
test in
exempted from
2014.
ordinary human conditions? No, of course not. You can't test for every single disease at every single point of your life. Unfortunately, you just can't do that.
He's just objectively correct, which is why with these conspiracies, you'll often notice the experts are always on the other side of them, which is why they're, of course, saying in this case, the doctor who did Biden's regular checkups is in on the scandal because if he wasn't, the whole thing falls apart. But look how confidently wrong they are about things they don't have any expertise in or knowledge in. They just assert that they know. So they know if you test a bunch of things at once in terms of medical testing, not only can it lead to false positives, but it can lead to incidental findings that distract from the issues. Oh, we found this, so it must be the cause when it's actually completely unrelated. It also causes unnecessary strain on the body that you definitely wouldn't do to a 70-plus-year-old. It would also be time-inducive in a way that a president probably wouldn't have. It's not like he can just step away for 24 hours to quell MAGA conspiracies. That would be insane. And where, again, from my direct almost 10-year behavioral health experience, the idea that he has cognitive issues or dementia, but it's only sometimes affecting him, but he's fine the other amount of times is completely based in fantasy. You can't read a teleprompter if you have dementia and it only shows when you're off a teleprompter. You wouldn't be able to read a teleprompter.
This
What
entire
about
segment, all of
Oscars?
this is a whataboutery. All of this is a whataboutery away from Donald Trump's presidency. Anything to discuss anything besides the multiple times he's referenced the Second Amendment, but besides the time he tweeted out the video of the,
let's talk about
tied up
Destiny.
Joe Biden in the back of the truck.
It's a
about
TV
all
show,
of the
and they were doing
comments
a
like,
segment about what the former FBI
there's always an
director
excuse.
did.
There's
All right,
always a reason.
best
There's always an excuse,
supporting
there's always a reason, yeah.
whataboutery winner is you, Destiny.
And this is why we can't let it be a distraction. It's just whataboutism, right? It only exists on the right. Also, this isn't a problem that real Americans are even thinking about. It's entirely fabricated by terminally online MAGA members, all to distract from Trump barreling us towards recession, crashing our markets, losing consumer confidence, being underwater on immigration, on the economy, defying courts, and defying constitutional principles, rapidly expanding the power of the executive like a dictator, shrinking the size of government while destroying America, almost single-handedly destroying the libertarian ideology himself that exists on the right. That's why they're now saying, oh, but Biden, we know that he lied to us about his mental health because he has prostate cancer. Like, there's literally no basis for any of these things. And they just think if they assert it confidently and enough of them do it, that is true. You know, if enough of them confidently say that the earth is flat, it means the earth is flat. And that's what the left can't get involved in, and they should instead focus on the aforementioned destruction Trump is causing. And weirdos like this, like Jake Tapper, can stay focusing on the things that only the terminally online care about.